Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with The Sopranos. I'm currently trying to sneeze, because, I can feel a sneeze, but it's not happening, and I need to start the video. So, hopefully the sneeze just happens at some point. Anywho, last time we had Rat Pack, where, old Tony, Blundetto, that's his name, thank you, description, Tony Blundetto, Tony's cousin, showed up. He is out of prison and he is back. And everyone's saying, "Oh, he's great. He's gonna be back." And Tony Soprano, was like, "Oh, well, I'll get you set up, get you ready, get you to work." And Blundetto, TB, he does not want to get back in the game actually, because he's finally clean. Oh, God. This is driving me crazy. He's finally clean after 15 years. He's good. He's done, and he wants to be a licensed masseuse. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's causing a bit of conflict between them, but he doesn't want to be back in the game. Meanwhile, Carmine passed away, and there seems to be some friction between little Carmine and Johnny Sack. June's trial was declared a mistrial, I believe. Or was that the first episode? Maybe it was the first episode, I don't know. I'm just looking over my notes on last episode. Adriana is still dealing with the turmoil of betraying her friends and family. And the last note on here is Jack. Oh, the guy. The guy that gave Tony the painting is a mole for the feds. So that was it. I was like, who the hell is Jack? I think he's dead now. So then not really worth bringing up anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of The Sopranos? Here we go. And there he goes, like Santa Claus. Very, very skinny Santa Claus.
I said my nephew has this area, Gary LaManna.
Fuck off, huh? I'm busy here.
Oh my God! He's gotta do something. Ow! Grab him by his dick.
You don't work this neighborhood!
Christ, we're on parole. What the fuck you doing?
You know, you never want to go to New Jersey, I feel like. You'll just get accosted no matter what job you have.
Why am I on there?
What? It's not you.
What's that? My trial?
No, that's Larry David.
That's Bobby.
He kind of looks like you guys.
Junior, it's not you. It's a TV program. A movie.
you know, now that you mention it, you do kind of look like Larry David. Larry David, who has not aged a day. I think he's looked like that for his entire life.
How's she doing anyways? My sister.
She sleeps a lot. It's hard.
Still with the Epstein bar, huh?
It's tough on her. I don't know. 2 kids, a ready-made family.
Well, maybe she should
prone to
have done
depression,
that.
frankly.
Why did you marry
Not that I
her?
have any regrets.
You should. I have my regrets for you.
Good kid.
Friday, we have fish. If you're Catholic, so that's nice.
Sounds like the Ritz.
You gotta see her, Aunt Mary. She's the belle of the ball over there.
Oh yeah, so did anything come of him murdering an old woman in her house? I'm assuming not.
Man came by and said he was going to cut the lawns. I said, no, I want Mr. Vitro.
Yeah, Gary LaManna landscaping.
Do you know him?
You just go and I'll straighten it out.
Alright. Conflict now.
I didn't know it was you, Lorraine. Here you go. That's most of it.
She was at the funeral last week.
Let me ask you a question, Dan.
So is she part of the
Say
main
I'm
cast? I
some
noticed a
woman
new
standing
name.
here instead of a woman. You still gonna tell me you got most of it?
You're gonna have to
Let's go. Chop, chop, hit him.
get that part out, I'm sure.
About this humidity.
Oh!
This'll muffle the shot. Adios, you fucking skank.
Oh!
Hey, look at this, Joey. Today's a lucky day. Only made it to the R's.
You're close to John. You have any ideas?
What are you asking him for? He never even had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Your point being what, Junior?
No, forget it. He's just breaking balls.
Just
One
saying
thought
shit.
I had in the interest of harmony. Maybe there could be a power sharing situation.
Yeah, Sopranos have 2 bosses.
That's not all it's cracked up to be, believe you me.
Let's not get into that right now.
Yeah.
What I was thinking was 3 bosses, a triumvirate thing, like Caesar.
Oh, the triumvirate.
Carmine, Johnny, and you.
You know I always steered clear of stuff.
What stuff? I talk to the guy for you. Get you back your stocks. I know him.
Yeah?
So you give me a token. I don't know. Couple percent.
Give a discount.
Thanks, Paulie.
I mean, you're getting work. And potentially not getting beat up again.
This one. There he is, the king of breadsticks.
Give you a breadstick up there.
I love that Paulie always enters the room with it.
You've been away 20 fucking years.
Which entitles me to earn.
Which entitles you to shit. In my book, you get points for staying out of the can.
Good thing
Damn.
for me, then, that your book don't mean no gods to me.
Alright, that didn't work. It's just a lawnmower.
Bobby Jr. started wetting his bed again. Practically every night.
Bobby came by to see me.
You know what I love about car shots? There's absolutely no reason for AJ to be in the middle of the seat there.
You know, Tony, I cooked for Bobby and the kids every night. I did Sunday dinner at my house, and now I get to prepare the starters and schlep them to Uncle June's.
Your Bob's helping out all the way down from Brewster.
Barbara's kids are normal.
This family stuff.
Maybe it's because Barb was normal. Wait, did AJ evaporate? Where'd he go?
Every day,
Look, I mean, if you want, I'm staying over at my mother's and the place is empty. You can bunk with me for a while. No.
Well, I didn't even really... I thought he got an apartment.
Talking to my cousin.
Bolognese has meat, obviously. The marinara doesn't. And Barb will be here with the chicken parm.
AJ rematerialized. Finally.
Your father never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Oh, what the... What is it with you and this obsession with this varsity crap? The other day you said it. And when I was a kid, you told the girl cousins the same thing. It was very hurtful.
Tony, relax. It's not a big deal.
It's undermining. And it's the kind of stuff I'm teaching my kids not to do. So I don't want to hear it again. End of subject.
The king has spoken. I don't think he heard a thing, though.
We still get those season tickets, big brother?
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
There he goes again.
Son of a bitch!
What?
Did I just tell you not to say that again?
Say what?
You don't like the way I talk? Get out of my house.
Oh, here we go.
Tony?
Now, Tony, shit. Get your coat. We're leaving.
I don't have a coat.
Well, then get moving, goddammit.
Will someone please tell me what's going on?
It's my last Sunday dinner here. That's what's going on.
For some reason,
Uncle June
June is just... He keeps saying it.
Goddamn hothouse flower. That's his problem.
I think June's slipping. And Tony's slipping too, but in his own Tony way.
Took this boy out of college because he couldn't afford it anymore. He said it's his last time coming here.
Jesus, can you fucking imagine having to live with that? I had to live with just this part of my arm in a cast. It wasn't quite a cast, but it's similar. I had to live with that for a month. That's the whole fucking arm. Johnny.
So, Angelo had an idea.
Angelo had an idea specifically.
He's just floating this to keep the peace. What if there was a...
He's so
power
tilted,
sharing
though.
Situation. Power sharing. 3 other families have this kind of arrangement.
What's this, the fucking UN now?
I forget it. Forget I said it.
Fuck that.
Okay, this man can fucking yell. Alright, that's a no.
I want to see Johnny Soprano. Ain't no Johnny here. I'm his brother, damn it. He owns this place.
Hold up now. Back in the day, this was Italian neighborhood. Some fellas had this place here. Kept those vending machines.
Well, ain't no vending machines here no more.
Come on, fool. Go on.
He is losing it. Looking for Johnny.
Maybe you better call Tony.
I can't just dump this on Tony. I gotta find him. I need you to come here in case he comes back.
Bobby, I just can't.
I need your help here. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I think I love Junior more than you do.
Eh. God, if they fast track to a divorce, I'm gonna be so impressed. Oh God. Oh! Oh! Oh!
Top of that, from now on, I get 10% of whatever you make in this neighborhood.
You motherfucker!
Shut up, I give you a crack.
What's he? Is he just gonna put the lawnmower in his trunk? Oh, good grief. Old woman's confused.
He's wandering, Tone.
He can wander off the Palisades for all I care. He's fucking dead to me.
Alright then.
Stay here. I'm going out.
Where the hell is Tommy?
I sent him home.
Oh, wonderful. He gets the day off and I get to wait by the phone.
It's because of him Junior escaped, Janice.
Dad, can I go with you?
No.
Can Janice go and we just stay here?
What'd I tell you about being impolite?
If anyone cares, I'll be upstairs lying down.
Nobody cares. Oh my God. Bobby, how did you fall for it?
Television.
I had no idea you guys were that close.
Close. We were like brothers.
It's a shame then you can't find a way to work things out.
Chris, shut up.
Piece of bread, huh?
Have you thought about this?
Christopher!
Maybe you let him keep Lorraine.
You know, it wasn't long ago I remember you used to wait in the car. And as far as I'm concerned, you should still be there.
John, he was just
Fuck,
trying...
it was just. Everybody's got a goddamn opinion.
What the fuck did I say?
I'm sorry, T. I just thought
I gotta unfuck what you just fucked up. Gotta do something nice for Johnny. Like what? What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Don't give another suggestion.
See, Chrissy's not Tony's nephew. Chrissy's Carmela's cousin. She was first cousin to Dickie Moltisanti, Chrissy's dad. But he was always kind of like a big brother to Tony, Vicky. So Tony calls Chrissy his nephew. It's an Italian thing.
Okay.
Although technically Tony and Chrissy are cousins.
Yeah, by
Joanna
marriage.
Bondetto, Chrissy's mom, is Tony's cousin on his mother's side. But like way back, like in the old country or something.
This is not important, by the way.
I have a car.
Want a date? I give you half and half in the back seat.
I want to go home.
Well, let me get a ride by the shelter.
I have to find my car.
He's walked away from his car. Jesus, where is he going? Man, this sucks. He's such a great and interesting character. Oof. Oh. Was it just the pants? He does know, at least in instinct, to get the hell away from cops.
I'll tell you what, sir. Why don't you come and get in the car where it's nice and warm? Try to figure out how to get in touch with your lawyer, all right?
I mean, this could be a bad thing in the long run, but it is a good thing for him.
Where's your car?
They stole it.
Who stole it?
You know who.
I don't know if "stoled" is a word.
Sedel in carrozza. Still warm.
Artie, we're in the middle of a family meeting.
I'm not even here.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
You're the only one he relates to, Tony. We won't even be able to get him in the car.
Fuck him. You reap what you sow.
Oh
sure
my
did.
God.
You think maybe there's a reason you're living all alone here, Tony, without your family?
Damn.
And I was 16 when you left me in that house with our head case of a mother, who you all of a sudden relate to so fucking well.
I was merely saying I
Free spirit Janice, rebel without a cause. Well, I sit here mired in her bullshit, trying to be a good son while you're off dropping acid and blowing roadies.
Roadies?
Oh, you don't want to know.
that.
And now you're back and you're going to do to this man what you do to every one of them.
Fucking piece of shit!
Yeah, just like your mother, huh? Now you can do to him what she did to Daddy.
No! No, Artie. I mean, she is an awful human being. Your uncle has a problem.
And then from nowhere, he cracks the one kid's head with a shovel, and the other one he knocks out of a tree.
He jumped out the tree and come at me with a chainsaw. I got a right to defend myself, Tom.
Take it easy. Relax.
This is like the most mundane thing he could be working on right now.
Well, to tell you the truth, me and my uncle, we don't talk much anymore.
Sorry to hear that.
Don't be. He's a hostile prick.
Unfortunately, obstinacy is consistent with his condition. Patience, forgetfulness, particularly with short-term memory. Do you find he'll ask the same question every 3 minutes, what time it is?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yes, that was pretty easy to piece together, Tony. You're just so mad about everything all the time.
Let's assume that you didn't know what you were saying, that you forget, but you say shit over and over.
Yeah?
Why's it gotta be something mean? Why can't you repeat something good?
I don't know if he has control over it. If he did, it would kind of...
I mean, don't you love me?
That was fucking sad. Man. Sucks. Man, it sucks. I don't want this to happen to June. He's a great character. During this whole trial thing, I was like, okay, well, June's still great. He's not doing much in the plot, but, maybe we'll get back to that at some point. Damn it. You know what? Let's start off with the not sad stuff. So at what point did they can Johnny Sack? Because they can't, like, something has to break with him, right? He is, I don't know, man. That guy is really good at yelling, I must say. Just every time his voice gets so high, what's going on, It's just like ridiculous. It's just like, oh my god. Something has to break here, Like I feel like every scene that Johnny's in now, he starts yelling like that, He's mad at Tony, he's mad at Lorraine, he's mad at Lil Carmine, he's mad at Christopher, which, to be fair, is exactly what Tony said. Keep your mouth shut. And I mean, it's interesting because it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out, though. It's like, who will end up on top of this family? Johnny, Lil Carmine, or Lorraine? This is very, I will say, this is very Roman. Like, I love that they introduced the idea of the triumvirate, Because, like, It is very Roman. Carmine did not name a successor. Despite the fact that he's so friggin' old, Carmine didn't name a successor. It would make the most sense that it's Johnny, because Johnny was always there. Johnny was his number one. But you have to think about, blood relation, which Lil Carmine has. I'm not even sure how the fuck Lorraine factors into this. I barely realized that Lorraine was going to be a main character now, but she's in the credits now, so She's in the credits now, so we have to think about that, but it's an interesting thing. It is very Roman. I mean, about a week or so ago, I watched Gladiator for the first time. Ralph Cifaretto's favorite movie. So, but I watched that, and the whole thing with Gladiator is it is a kind of about that. Brief history lesson. Rome, they had the Roman emperors, starting with Augustus. A lot of people say Julius Caesar was an emperor. He was never the emperor. He was consul. He did take over Rome as dictator, but he was murdered before he became an emperor. It was Augustus who won the civil war overall, or Octavian, and he gave himself the name Augustus and changed the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. Augustus was the only really good emperor they ever had. Pretty much for a long time after Augustus, there was just a string of failures. Pretty much all of them sucked. They weren't as good as he was. However, there was a brief period where Rome was ruled by the 5 good emperors. That's literally what they were called, the 5 good emperors, because it started with the first guy who adopted a man to be his son, which made him his successor. So essentially, these 5 emperors chose their successor instead of just going to their actual blood relationship. They just adopted this guy. I'm going to adopt this guy, and he's going to be, the crown prince, basically. This continued until the last one, Marcus Aurelius, died without naming a successor, and then that is the plot of Gladiator, is his son by blood, Commodus, sucked. And he did. And pretty much after the death of Marcus Aurelius, there is pretty much no real good Roman emperor, and it just kept declining and declining and declining until Constantine split the Roman Empire, basically, by moving the capital of the empire out of Rome and into Constantinople, which would later become Istanbul. That's your brief Roman history for today. So, we are kind of at a point of Marcus Aurelius, where that is basically what Carmine was. He was this, this guy who, pretty good, maybe not the best boss we've ever had, but pretty good boss, and he did not name a successor. However, he does have people who could be successors, including, number 1, his flesh and blood, Little Carmine. Now, Little Carmine is not like Commodus. It's hard to be like Commodus. And granted, obviously there are liberties that are taken with the depiction of Commodus in Gladiator. But, honestly, Little Carmine probably wouldn't be that bad a pick. Granted, he's a bit out of the loop. He's been living in Miami for years. So technically he shouldn't, he doesn't have the knowledge, the experience in New York anymore to take over. The person who does have that is Johnny Sack. So, Johnny Sack has that, and he should technically take over because he's basically the perfect candidate for that. The problem with Johnny Sack is that he's Johnny Sack. Nobody likes Johnny Sack pretty much at all anymore, and yeah, that's just kind of a problem, isn't it? Meanwhile, there's also was it Lorraine's father, who was Carmine's how do they say it? Concierge, something like that. So it's interesting that they propose the triumvirate approach, where the 3 of them would have equal power, but nothing can be decided without at least 2 votes. That is how the triumvirate works. However, I will say, because even if that did go through, historically, looking at the 2 triumvirates of Rome, didn't really work out as intended. The first triumvirate being Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus, I believe. was the name. Crassus died in war, trying to get glory in war. He was more of an economics kind of guy, more of a real estate man. He was not good at war. He died in war. Caesar was good at war. He was in Gaul, wanted to come back, but he was so powerful that Rome kind of wanted to get rid of him. And at the head of that was Pompey, which caused a conflict. Caesar came over the Rubicon, all that stuff. The second triumvirate, again, quick Roman history. The second triumvirate would have been Octavian, Mark Antony, and some other guy. I don't remember. Clearly he was not that important. That guy went away. Mark Antony ended up facing Octavian in civil war, where Mark Antony sided with Cleopatra. They died. Octavian won, became Augustus, Roman Empire, yada yada yada. Basically what I'm saying is, both times there was a triumvirate within Rome, the Caesar was the one who came out on top, and the other two, went by the wayside of history, basically. Not that they're not forgotten, except the guy in the second triumvirate, who I've completely forgotten. But they did not win in the end, basically. So, the question becomes, who would have been what, I guess? I mean, I guess we don't even need to speculate, because they're not going to do the triumvirate, because Johnny started going, he started doing that stuff, and he's just like, okay, that's no. When Johnny starts screaming like a goat, that means no. So it's just a power struggle at this point, is who will come out on top. It is very likely that Johnny Sack will come out on top, because he was there. He was the number one to Carmine, But I don't know. Something's got to break with Johnny, though. Something's got to break with Johnny, because things keep happening, and his yelling keeps growing with every episode, and it's just like, something's got to break here. So I feel like I talked more about Rome and Roman history than actually talking about that plot point, but here we are. There's kind of a meme question of, when was the last time you thought about the Roman Empire? Well, we can scrub that off the days since you've thought about the Roman Empire board. It's at 0 now. So other stuff. TB, we didn't see a lot of TB in this episode. But he's trying to keep clean, Feech, meanwhile, he is completely back into it now, and having a beef with Paulie, which is just like, I mean, okay, so Feech wanted his nephew. He was trying to get his nephew to expand. He's just starting up as a lawnmower, but in doing so, he's taken out Sal, who was mowing lawns there for years and years. So if anything, it's like, no, Feech is completely in the wrong here. He's encroaching on that mowing territory. But that's the thing, this shouldn't be a territorial dispute. I mean, I guess it kind of is, though, because what are lawns if not territory? But still, it's just like, the fact that escalated, people, Sal broke his arm. The other guy probably busted his legs falling from that tree. It's just like, it's ridiculous. All because of, all for lawnmowers. Like, I honestly, this time I'm kind of more with Paulie, which is weird. We haven't had that in a long time, but like, I'm kind of more with Paulie, that it's just like, no. Sal's been doing this for years. The people want him. His aunt and his mother, they want him to be mowing their lawn. So it's just like, no, you go somewhere else, or maybe even just ask. I don't know, like, have a sit down and be like, hey, I'm trying to, break in a little bit here. Can I have a lawn or two? I don't know. So there's that. June June's he's getting sick. Hopefully they can get this under control, but man, that was rough. But he was never a varsity athlete. It's so weird how much that made Tony mad, you know? It's just like ridiculous how mad Tony got because of that, you know? But it's always bugged him. So. But he went out on his own looking for Johnny Soprano. Looking for his brother. It's sad. It's sad, especially just because, again, I like the character. He's like one of my favorite characters in this show, and seeing this now is just like, oh man, I don't want this. Hopefully they can get that under control a little bit. I did actually like, though, the one moment, you know, when they're talking about like, oh well, power sharing and stuff, and I like the one probably like lucid moment for June where he's just like, and it's not all it's cracked up to be, believe you me. It's just like, shut the fuck up, you know. He was never a varsity athlete, so. But man, just to go from that for Tony to just be immediately like, oh, he's dead to me. It's just like, oh my god, man, dude, what? Just one little comment about the varsity athlete and you're losing it? Because, like, I don't know, man. I mean, he didn't think of it. He just thought that June was, like, trolling him, basically. He wasn't thinking about could something be wrong. And so once he heard that, though, that something was wrong, he didn't process it like that, you know? He didn't process that might be why he keeps bringing that stuff up, you know? But it is interesting, you know, when he says, like, oh, but this thing that you repeat all the time, does it have to be so mean? Does it have to be so mean? You know, don't you love me? And June just starts kind of tearing up, and it's just like, oh man. So this is gonna go on a little longer, definitely. And then there's Janice. I will say, Janice at least has like one good point in every episode that she's in, you know? Like, she actually makes a point that is good, basically. Because here she was talking about, you know, Uncle June is sick, we have to help him, you know, he's our uncle, we have to help this guy, you know? However, the stuff that Tony said about her is kind of true, you know? It's like, why... It's like, oh, now she's depressed and everything, and it's like what she said last episode, where it's like, oh, you know, marriage life isn't what it's cracked up to be. You know, after a few years, it's just, like, it's just terrible, and you know, Carmela pointed out, it's like, Janice, you're a newlywed. Like, why are you talking about this then? Why did you become a newlywed then? So... But, I mean, it's true, and, you know, and honestly, with Tony saying, it's like, oh, you'll probably drive Bobby crazy the way their mother drove their father crazy. I mean, it's true, because Janice is an awful person. I mean, just the fact that, you know, when she's so pissed at Bobby, you know, it's like, oh, I need you to come down here and stuff, and she's like, oh, well, I can't just drop everything and stuff. It's like, June is missing! Important thing happening! The moral of the story is Bobby is a good person, you know? Bobby is a good person who has to deal with June, which wouldn't be so bad if that didn't also mean dealing with the rest of his family, namely Tony and Janice, who both have so many problems. Like, June's problem is that he's sick. Their problems, oh my god, that's too much to list, you know? So, poor Bobby. I mean, also not poor Bobby, though, because it's like, why did you not see this? Why did you not see that this would happen? Good freaking grief, man. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with June? What's gonna happen with John? What's gonna happen with TB? I don't know. And also, there was Artie in this episode. Artie, you know, they seem to be, you know, throwing water under the bridge a bit, you know. And hey, now he's living there. And I like that moment where it's like, Artie, we're having a family meeting here. He's like, I'll get up. I don't hear anything, you know? But then he takes a shot from Janice as they're trying to break him up. And it's just like, oh my God. It's terrible. It's so terrible, but I don't know, man. Janice sucks. Janice has always sucked, but Janice has always sucked. Tony sucks too, but I don't know. We're kind of stuck with Tony. He's the main character, you know? I don't know. It's weird because it's like, why does it feel like some of Tony's problems are legit? I don't know. Maybe just because he's in the mafia, you know? It's like, some of it is like stuff he has to deal with that's not of his own making, you know? Like, he has a lot of problems of his own making. Don't get me wrong. But then there are a lot of problems like Johnny Sack. That's not really his fault at all, you know? I don't know, man. Meanwhile, Janice is just like, oof, I don't know. Anyway, that's where we are. Well, I hope you enjoyed this discussion about Roman history and also side notes about The Sopranos. Sorry about that, but what can I say? I can talk about Roman history. So, I do have a bachelor's degree in history. I have not used it since I got it, and I'm not as good remembering stuff as my dad, but I do know some stuff, and I can talk to you somewhat about Roman history. So, but yeah, that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from Scimitar Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Sopranos reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.